There are two places on the upcoming release of the Nike Lebron 17 Sprite which could trip this colorway up. They could be getting in the way of the colorway and could stop this from being an absolutely epic sneaker. And there's one place on this colorway that I think they might bring through from what is a kid's sneaker into the men's runs. I've only ever seen it one time on the men's Nike Lebron 17s, but I think the success of this Nike Lebron 17 Sprite for kids is going to actually make this more of a signature for that line, and you're going to see this one particular detail carried through into the Nike Lebron 17 men's runs. So stick around as we take a detailed look at the upcoming release of the kids Nike Lebron 17 Sprite. This is a Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. This Mainichi Upsuru no Den, Mainichi Miti Kudasai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker news, upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And every time I make a mistake, I leave it in the videos like I did just now, because I think that makes for more authentic content. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe people don't want to see me tripping over my tongue first thing in the morning. But anyway, let's get into this and talk about these Nike Lebron 17 Sprites. First things first, is it called the Sprite? I am not entirely sure at the moment while I'm shooting this content. Now, these guys release on March the 14th, which is in like 4 or 5 days time, and I can't be sure of the actual name of them. They're calling them the Sprite whenever I've seen them out there, but I'm gonna have to wait until they appear on the sneakers app. It's a bit like the sneakers that I reviewed on yesterday, which were the Dunk Low Syracuse and Kentucky, but here in Japan they weren't called Syracuse and Kentucky, they were called like Orange Blaze and Varsity Royal. That's what they were called, but I don't know if that's what they were called elsewhere in the world. So these Sprites haven't yet shown up on the sneakers app here in Tokyo, Japan, and I'm not entirely sure if they are going to be called Sprites or not, and I'd love to know in the comments down below, so please do let me know. But like I said at the top of this video, what we're going to be doing is taking a detailed look at many aspects on the sneaker, not just the two that I'm really going to focus in on, which is 2 points where I think this sneaker could fall down. It would have been absolutely epic, but these 2 points can maybe take away from that. And one point that I think they might bring through to more of the men's sneakers, which I haven't seen very often on the men's sneakers. So let's get into this first and foremost, straight up and out of the bat. I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to start off with the thing that I think will come through to the men's from these kids' sneakers. Now, I've read that what we're going to see is big kids, grade school, and little kids, or something like that, or big kids, preschool, and you know, babies, or something like that. So anyway, a 3-size run that covers all, you know, kids and school-aged kids, people, but not adult-sized runs, not men's-sized runs, as far as I know. And again, if I'm wrong in that, correct me in the comments down below. But the thing that I really want to focus in on, I want to start out with, is looking at that colorway. Now, it's a really clean colorway, but there's something in it that's kind of unique, which I've only ever actually seen one place before. And where I've seen it, I'm going to tell you in just a second. Before that, though, what I'm going to tell you is that I'm going to put up a link here, but I don't want you to click on the link. People tend to think that these links have to be clicked on within 5 seconds, but you don't have to click on them as soon as they go there. They hang out for the entire video and you can catch them at the end. So if you're interested in the Harlem Fashion Row, there's a link, and you can just go look at that right now if you wanted to, or wait till the end of the video and that link will still be there. But that Harlem Fashion Row, if you look at the colorway on it, incidentally, we can look at it because I reference it in just about every Nike Lebron 17 video that I do, because I love it. I think the Harlem Fashion Row Nike Lebron 17 is clean. It's one of my all-time favorite sneakers, not just this season. It's an absolutely beautiful sneaker, and if I could get my hands on them for a reasonable price, I think I probably would. But the signature detail on that, and hopefully they've been behind me for a while now, that you don't see in many other sneakers in the line, is that the base color is lighter than the detailing. Okay, now I'm going to repeat myself, but that might be unnecessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. The base color is lighter than the detailing. So in the case of the Harlem Fashion Rows behind me here, the base color is cream, and you should be able to see like a sort of cream or tan or beige kind of base around the entire sneaker. And then on top of that came reds and shades of mauve and things like that. So you've got a cream color which is light, and then on top of that the red colors which are darker. So the base is lighter. So if we take, for example, another sneaker that I've reviewed, More Than an Athlete, and have a look at these guys here, the base color is actually darker than the detailing on the top of it. And that's the normal kind of pattern. I've reviewed a lot of 17s for my channel, the James Gangs, the I Promise for the school that Lebron sponsors, or is, I think he might actually be a vice principal for his official title or something like that, or executive principal or something like that. But the original ones that dropped back in, like 2019, I've reviewed a lot, the infrareds, a lot of 17s for this channel, and usually the base colors, for example, the infrareds, the base is black and the detailing is red, the base is darker and the detailing is a lighter color. But if we go back and look at these Sprites, you can see that the base is white, and you can't get much lighter than white, and then the detailing on top is blue. That is usually the other way around. Usually it's dark underneath with coloring on the top, which is lighter than the dark base. And I think we're going to see that a lot more in the 17s for men's. For the full size runs, you're going to see a lot more coming out. People are going to look at this and be like, what's so unique about that? Something about that catches my eye. What is that? And what it is that the base is white, and then you've got the detailing and the colouring on top. And people haven't really seen that often. I'm not saying never, I'm just saying often. But I think people are going to say, that's actually a cool look. And then Nike, Lebron, they're going to get together and they're going to say, yeah, actually, you know what, we should roll that out for a lot more of our sneakers because that is fire. So yes, let's get on board with that. So the first thing I talked about at the top of this video was that there's something in these guys that they're going to take and move it forward into a wider sort of across the line rather than just specific for these kids ones. But then I talked about two things that put this sneaker at risk. And I said that they could derail the colorway. Now I said they could derail the colorway. I didn't say they would derail the colorway, because of those two things, I think one works and one doesn't. Okay, so there's two particular things in this colorway that I think are risky, and one of those risks pays off and it looks great, and one of them doesn't. So before I tell you which is which, I'm going to tell you that the two details that we're talking about is the black and white tongue and the light green outsole. Okay, the black and white tongue and the light green outsole. Now behind me here, you probably can see the lateral side of the sneaker. In fact, definitely can see the lateral side with the swoosh down there, because it's a very consistent sneaker in its center point. The core of the sneaker is blue and white. If you look at the swoosh, if you look at the kind of heel counter that the swoosh is on, which is white, the swoosh being blue, the coloring in the upper and that fly knit in blue with the white base underneath, the air unit on the side, all those kind of things, they're very solid in there. But the tongue is black and white and the outsole is light green. And those two things, those two features, I think are at risk. And one of them I say is yes, it does work. And the other one I'm like a bit questionable on. I don't know how you guys are at home, but for me, the outsole works. I very much dig the outsole on these guys. I think it's a very cool outsole, and it really works with this colorway. The varying colors of blue, the light and dark blues up on the top, they kind of fade into the green, if you like, and there's a join between green and blue. They're very similar colors. If you think of color wheels and stuff like that, they're very close together. So I think the outsole being green on these guys is a big plus and a big yes, but I'm not a fan of the tongue. The black and white tongue on there, it just sort of jars a little bit with me. You've got this colorful, kind of poppin', vibrant sneaker in multi-colors, and then you go with this black and white tongue, this monochrome tongue. I think that's a bit questionable. I wouldn't have done it myself. But then again, it's just the tongue. It's not like it overrides the entire sneaker. So people out there maybe are on it, and they do like that kind of segmented effect, which matches the fly knit of the upper in certain ways. So, but for me, that's where I would go with these guys. I'd say yes to the outsole. It does match the rest of the colorway, but the tongue being in black and white against that kind of blue and rich sort of aqua colorway of the rest of the sneaker. Sprite doesn't bring to mind black and white as well in the name. So, so that for me is kind of the main thing that's going on with these sneakers, and those two main points, which is what people are going to look at when they go out and buy these things. But mark my words, Definitely check it out in the future and see if this is the first point where this kind of white base with the colors on top is the start point for that, and if they're going to explore that more in the Nike Lebron 17 line, which I totally think is fire. I wasn't so complimentary about this thing, and again, you can check that link out later. You don't have to check it out right now, but the Nike Lebron 17 lows, I kind of gave them a bit of a hammer, and then somebody in the comments down below was like, I just bought a pair, and I was like, oops, sorry. But I just give my honest opinion anyway. I mean, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you shouldn't buy it, you know what I'm saying? But those 17 lows I wasn't a huge fan of, but 17 highs I'm an absolutely massive fan of. I think they're a great sneaker, and they will go down as one of those unique sneakers in the LeBron line. Some sneakers, if you think of the Jordan line, some of the sneakers in the Jordan line kind of blend in together with the other numbers around them, and you're like, is that a 15 or a 16? I can't remember. But the 17s in the LeBron line, if you were trying to work out, is that a 10 or 11 if you're not so up on your LeBron sneakers? I think the 17 is going to be one of those that everybody will recognize as a classic silhouette for a sneaker. I think it's beautiful. I really do. So, but anyway, enough about that. Enough about these LeBron 17 Sprites for kids, unless of course I'm wrong about there being a fuller size run than I know about. But I do want to finish up the video with a couple of things, and one is just to talk about the coronavirus, or not to talk about it. I don't want to do coronavirus stuff in my sneaker videos, but I do go live every morning at 7:30 Japan time to talk about it, because it is affecting life here in Japan. So if you're interested in what's happening here in Japan in terms of the coronavirus thing, there's a playlist full of my live videos that I do every morning to talk about that before I come into my regular work. And yeah, it's having an effect on my work, it's having an effect on my private life, but it's not stopping me from churning out that daily sneaker content yet. Who knows, they might shut this whole world down, turn off the electricity and restart because of the coronavirus. Hopefully not, because I've just finally got YouTube worked out and then they shut me down. No! But definitely check out those coronavirus videos if that's something you're interested in, if you want to know what life in Japan is like right now. And then to finish off, I always finish off with the rarest sneakers in the world in hand, samples, player exclusives, prototypes in hand, playlist full of those kind of sneakers, and it's a great place to end, and thank Shoe Butter for his time for helping us out at the channel and sending us that authentic content. So here's a link to that, the greatest sneakers in the world in hand, doing, and clicking on that will activate all of the links, and you can choose which one to go to for your next video. But for now, time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, but because I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.